Welcome back to another episode of the Running Club podcast. We got a special guest today. We got my homie from high school. He's a collegiate runner at Adams State, Carson Bix.
Hello.
So to start off, can you just like update us on like how Adams State's going and like what's your main event and stuff like that?
Dude, yeah, Adams State's great. We're up here at like 7,500 feet of altitude, so it's like slightly higher than Big Bear, some areas. So that's definitely like a really big boost for like the aerobic part of the training. So really a lot of us like to focus on like the slightly longer events, like the 3K or the 2 mile or the 5K. But in cross, it's priceless what the altitude benefit gives you, because most of the years in cross country, usually one of the schools, because there's like 3 or 4 really good schools in Colorado for D2, and usually one of them, if not almost all of them, are all in the top 5, and one of them almost always wins. So like,
shit.
yeah. And Adams State is just a great place to train. It's a really small town. There's like 10,000 people here. So there's not a lot of distractions. So it's like
nice
good
ass
to just
views and like lakes and stuff,
exactly.
right?
Yeah, definitely.
That's dope.
Actually, no lakes. We're in like the middle of a valley. So like everyone thinks Colorado's mountains. We have to drive like 40 minutes to the nearest mountain. It's kind of funny. But yeah, the sunset's pretty. Altitude's crazy. Personally, my main event, well, in cross country, we run the 10K. But in track, I like to do anything from like the mile to the 5K. And indoors, I actually ran a 402 mile. Well, I converted to a 402 mile because I ran it at Albuquerque, in New Mexico, which is like 5,000 feet. And then
I saw that on Instagram.
Yeah. And then outdoors, I like to focus really on the 5K. I think that's like my best event, definitely right now.
Can't you feel the altitude though, like even on track, like or?
Oh yeah, like the amount of effort I have to put in to run like a 70 is like so much compared to running like a 70 for a 400 back home. It's insane.
Damn.
But like the longer you go, the more conversion you get. It's like exponential. So like for a 5K, I think on our outdoor track, we get almost like 50 seconds conversion. So if I run like a 14:30 up here outdoors, I'll run like a 13:40-ish, give or take a couple seconds. So that's pretty nice, especially when you're trying to qualify for like the national meets. We don't have to like travel very far to go try and run a fast time. But yeah.
Where's like somewhere where you compete where there's no altitude?
Well, okay, so Seattle, the University of Washington. I went to the UW meet and ran the 3K there. That was like, they had like a 300 flat track, which is a little weird because we usually run on like 200 banked, but it was really similar to like a 400-meter track. So that was actually nice. So Seattle. In cross country, I pulled my red shirt this year, or like this past fall season. And we went to Pennsylvania and ran the Paul Short meet. Yeah, so that was actually like really cool. It was a really fun trip, yeah. And then nationals was in Sacramento. And then indoor nats in, I think it was mid-March, before it got canceled. We had flown there and we had landed and we were in Alabama. It was in Birmingham, Alabama, yeah.
Damn.
So that's where indoor nats was, yeah. I think outdoor nats was Texas, if I remember correctly. But yeah, so we go all over the place.
Dude, how many meets do you have like a season? Like
in cross, so we have our home meet up here, which it's a good meet, but it's terrible because we're at so much altitude, like it's so hard. So we have that one, and then it depends if you're on like the travel squad, or it depends if you're really like top 10 or if you're like trying to make top 10. But for me, last cross country season, I had the home meet and I had the Pennsylvania Paul Short race, and then I was injured for conference, but then it was regionals and then cross nat. So that's 5. And then usually, like if coaches deciding between a couple people, like who to take to this meet, who to take to nats, you might run 1, maybe 2 more just to see, like, just to race it out kind of thing with you and that other guy. And in track, we also have another home meet I ran 2 races there. We went to Albuquerque. That's where I ran the mile. And then a week after Albuquerque, went to Seattle. And then it was conference and then nationals. There's no regionals. So it's like 5-ish meets per season.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds fun though. You get to travel a fuck ton. Like,
Oh, dude, so nice.
dude, that's
Yeah,
lit.
no. Yeah, it's definitely awesome.
That
You know,
reminds me of
sometimes,
like the Kansas meet, but like you get to do
oh
that
yeah.
more often. Like, bro, that's
The
sick.
only bad thing about the travel is that the nearest airport is like, it's either in Denver or Albuquerque, which is at least a 3.5 hour drive. Yeah, so it's three and a half
Dang.
hours to Albuquerque, which we like never fly out, and then
Yeah.
4.5 to Denver. That's the only bad thing. That's the
Dang.
only bad thing. Yeah,
Damn.
I
That's
wish it
whatever.
was.
You
I
get to
just
still
wish it was closer.
you get to travel a fuck ton, man. That's sick.
Yeah, usually we'll like drive to Denver, stay the night in Denver, and then fly out that morning.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really it. Nice.
All right. So like we want to get into like, well, I'm not like a collegiate runner, so I'm kind of curious, like, what do you
You're a
think
collegiate runner, Thomas.
like what do you think are like the main differences though between like high school running and college running?
Definitely mileage. Like that's a lot. Like Thomas can tell you guys, and I can just back it up that we did 50 miles a week, maybe 60 at most. Now
Yeah.
I think this season my coach wants me to get up to like 95. So that's already like a 50% increase. It's
How do you even
ridiculous.
do that? Like,
Okay, so I've planned out, or kind of. It's like it's roughly like, so on our easy days, it's like 9 to 10 miles, and then with like a 4-mile double in the afternoon. I double twice a week, and then workouts are usually from like 11 to 13 miles long if you include like warm up and cool down and all that,
damn.
because we do like 8-mile tempos. That's ridiculous. So it's like 2-mile warm up, 8-mile tempo, 2-mile cool down. You're already at 12 miles.
Dang.
And then Wednesdays we have like a midweek long run kind of thing. So that's like anywhere from like 13 or 14 miles when I'm building and I'm at my peak mileage.
Fuck.
And then Friday's another workout, Thursday's another easy day, Saturday's another easy day, and then Sunday,
What's an easy
I
day?
just did easy day is like you just run kind of thing.
Like 6
Just get the
miles?
heart rate up. Oh no, it's like 9 or 10.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. This morning
Damn.
I went like 8.8 miles or something like that.
Fuck.
It was 65 minutes. He's a big like minutes guy instead of miles. So
I see.
I mean, I'm fine with that. But Sundays is where we get a lot of it in. These past 2 Sundays I ran 16, and I'm doing 17 next weekend. But there's guys that go 20 or like 22. Yeah.
On one run, like
that's
like
where
almost a marathon. Like,
yeah, like it's so funny that these guys almost are doing a marathon every Sunday.
Are you doing this during track too, or is it just like cross country?
Track's not as much, but I think this outdoor track, because I'm trying to run like a stupid fast 5K, I'll need to be up at like 90, 95, especially because 5K is a longer event. You got to do a little bit more miles. But like this past indoors, when I ran the mile and the 3K, I was doing like, I think it was like 65. I was never over 70 because we were trying to get more intensity. So
that's still like that's still fucking wild. Like you're probably it was like shorter just because you're doing more workouts and stuff like that.
Yeah,
right?
and like we're doing faster workouts, so you can't go as long. So it's just like I do like a 2-mile warm up, maybe a little bit over 2 miles, and then like the workout itself is going to be worth like 1.5 miles or 2 miles. But then I'm like almost at 4 miles for the day, and the coach is like, all right, 35, 40-minute cool down. So it's just like just so you can get in that miles. Yeah, it's really hilarious.
Damn, bro. That's a lot of fucking mileage, bro.
Dude,
I've been around like 30 to 40 right now, but like
dude, yeah,
I usually bump it up more for the marathon. Like
this
once I get
past
closer.
week I did 81.5.
Damn. Dude, how do you feel? How do you feel? Like it's like
Dude,
you're chilling. Like
the funny thing is I'm taking like, so you take like iron and stuff. It's way more important up here just because the air's thinner and there's less oxygen, so it's a lot harder to recover. I take like 10 different vitamins and minerals.
Damn.
Just to make sure, like, because some of them you can't get in your diet. So I just make sure that I get like everything. That is recovery. You got to sleep like an extra at least like 30 minutes to an hour more than you would at sea level. So you got to get at least like 9 hours of sleep a night, which is hard. Recovery. Yesterday was Sunday. Yeah. after the 16 miles, I was probably not on my feet longer than like an hour for the rest of the day. Like I was literally just laying on the couch, feet up,
Just
everything.
half
Like,
napping.
yeah, I big napped. Yeah, definitely after that. Big nap guy.
Damn.
But it's just like staying careful, running smart, don't run too quick. Just kind of obvious things like that.
Yeah.
Stretch. I do yoga like 2 or 3 times a week. We do
Nice.
weight room right now,
Oh, you
twice a
do. What
week.
have you been doing in the weight room?
Right now so I live with 4 other guys on the team. So
Okay.
we just like get in the house and do like body weight exercises because like right now our campus is closed, but our coach is trying to get that open. But it's just like a bunch of squats, like so we'll take turns. So usually like a couple of other guys will come over and like everyone will pick 3 like leg exercises to do. So
Okay.
someone will be like, 50 squats, and then they'll be like, 40 lunges, like 30 hip bridges, and we just do that until everyone's picked 3.
I
And then
see.
usually we're pretty beat after that. But and we do core like 4 or 5 times a week. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I need to do core.
I need to stop eating like crap, stupid quarantine. I'll get my abs back.
Dude, yeah. No, I've been trying to eat cleaner. Like I was eating shit in the beginning of quarantine, but I'm
Dude,
back. I'm
hey,
back.
I was eating shit in the beginning of quarantine. But it's just like it's hard because like some of the other guys like don't eat like crazy healthy. So like when you see them not eating healthy, like
Yeah.
it makes me not want to eat healthy. Don't tell anyone, but I just got a pack of double stuffed golden Oreos. Gonna kill those tomorrow.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Dude. Get that. You gotta recover. You know, like.
Yeah, dude. Glucose, simplest form of sugar.
Yeah.
Turn it into energy. There you go. That's
Damn,
my
that's sick
excuse.
though.
But
Fuck. Are you
yeah,
thinking
it's
about
pretty
like
bad.
continuing running after school or like going pro or
Yeah,
something like
like
that?
coach kind of has this plan for me to try and make the Olympic trials in June
Shit.
next year. Yeah, that'd
Yo,
be
that's
sick.
sick. That's sick.
So
What do you have to run
sometime
for
in
that?
I have to run at least like some 13:20s.
Dang, fuck.
Yeah. So,
But
and
you
I
got
was
it,
gonna run a
bro.
5K this outdoors, but obviously that got canceled. So the new plan is I'm redshirting cross, because there's likely a cross season. We don't really know for sure yet,
Oh, okay.
but redshirt cross, and then I'm gonna go home and just like try and build up mileage because I've never been over like 85. But so we're trying to get the mileage in, get really strong, and then I'm gonna come home to California sometime in like October and run like a sea level 5K, see what I can do,
Yeah, it'll
and
probably be
then
a
like
lot
after
easier,
that,
huh?
oh, immensely, like it's crazy.
Dang.
Um, and then after that, like take a short break and then start getting ready for like indoors and outdoor track.
I see.
But yeah, so that's the plan right now is trying to get that 5K time down for the Olympic trials.
That's sick. Like,
Yeah.
what's the situation on the season for fall?
Oh, I'm not really sure, but like a couple of schools have canceled fall sports, but like coach is keep telling us like there's no final decision yet, but
Yeah.
it's likely, like those are his exact words, like so we don't really know, but we're just training like there is one.
That's good.
Um, yeah. So hopefully there is one because I like to. Some of these guys are getting in really good shape up here, and I like to see them race. But
Yeah.
other than that, it's just like just running every day, hoping there's a season.
That sounds good. Fuck.
Yeah.
How do you think like you were able to like always be into running? Like, cause ever since I know you, like you're always like the
Yeah.
runner guy.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know, man, because like in middle school we used to do those like mile time trials.
yeah.
Wait, did you go to Berlin or Jefferson?
I went to Berlin.
Oh, never mind. All right. So Jefferson, we did like a mile every week, and I was
Oh
always like
shit.
pretty decent at them.
Uh-huh.
And like I started getting really good like my 8th grade year, and then my PE teacher was like, "Hey," and I didn't like running at that time, which is
Okay.
ironic. So I'd always
Like
want to
like
go home and play video
you were
games.
just like tired of it or what? Like
I just it wasn't fun.
it was just a
I
thing
was
you had to
big
do.
like quick scoping Black Ops 2 guy, so it was just like all I wanted to do was go home. So like every
Uh-huh.
day I'd like sprint from my middle school back home to try and play because I couldn't get on video games when my mom came home. So it's just like
You got a
so I had to get
racer.
as much time as I
Yeah.
could. And then I started going like um and then I just started getting faster in the mile, and then like I'm super competitive, so like I would win, and I'm like
Yeah.
not great at any other sport. So whenever we played basketball, like in like lunch and stuff, we'd always lose.
Oh.
So that wasn't fun. But it was fun, like winning and like being able to go fast. And then high school came, and I actually wasn't gonna do cross because like my friend group was doing like football and wrestling and stuff, and then I was gonna do track. But Coach Druten comes up to me like first day of school. He's like,
Damn.
"You're coming to practice, right?" I was like, "I was actually gonna try out for football." He's like, "Nah, you're going to cross practice."
Dude,
I was like,
yeah.
"Okay."
That's lit.
Yeah,
Dude.
and my mom was like, because she wasn't running like in high school, but she started running after like college and stuff.
Just
And she's doing
recreational.
like triathlons and stuff.
Oh, that's
And
sick.
so she was really pushing me into that like cross country direction. And my dad was like, "Do whatever you want." And I was like,
Yeah,
I guess running. And
that's
then
sick.
I was good.
And then it began, man.
Yeah, then it began.
That's sick,
Oh
man.
no. High school was great though. Great times in high school.
Dude, yeah, high school is sick, bro. That was sick. Yeah.
It's so long ago too. Oh my
For
god.
real, like almost 4 years now. Like,
That's insane.
dude, but I like state and like a lot of those meets are so clear in my mind still. Like,
Oh, for
like
sure.
I barely
sure. I
remember some of the
remember.
classes, but like those, like the
Oh, yeah,
state
I
meet
couldn't name
or
like
like,
one of my teachers, but
yeah,
I
yeah,
remember senior year at the league meet, Jordan was having me doing a workout in the mile, like where I'd try and run like a certain time for the 1200, and then it was league prelims, and and then I would just literally jog in like the
yeah.
last 400, and the crowd started booing me, and Rory comes up and just out kicks me the last like 10 meters, and the crowd goes ham for Rory because everyone hated me.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great
Nah.
times.
Yeah. No, those are definitely good ass times, man.
Yeah,
Fuck.
dude. Awesome.
All right. Now we're just gonna move on to the final segment of the show. We call it the final kick. Pretty much I asked
Oh
like
god.
10 speed round questions, and
All
then
right,
you
I'm
just try to
ready.
answer as fast as you can.
All right, let's
All right.
go.
All right. What's your favorite running event?
5K.
How many times a week do you run?
How many times? Like days or what?
Like times, like how many times do you go out the door?
Oh, I run 7 days a week, but a couple days I do doubles, so probably
Oh
like
shit.
10.
All right. What shoe do you run in?
I run in a bunch of shoes, but lately it's been like Adidas shoes, and then our school is sponsored by New Balance, so I have both of those.
All right, nice. Do you like hot or cold?
Oh, cold. If it's not at least 30 degrees, I'm not running well.
Shit, 30?
No, I'm
Bro,
just
that's
kidding.
like
No, just kidding.
freezing.
But the colder the better,
I
definitely.
see. On my rest days, I like to
Eat junk food and play Warzone.
That's lit. What coach do you want to give a shout out to?
Obviously, you gotta shout out the GOAT, Coach
Yeah,
Druten.
yeah, Coach
Obviously,
Drew, yeah.
I'm gonna send it. You gotta send him this link.
Yeah, I'll send it to
You
him.
should get him on here.
Dude, no, yeah, I was thinking about DMing him. I'll DM him after this.
Do it.
The 400 or mile?
Oh, mile, easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
No, I thought so. Have you ever ran a marathon?
No, but I'm thinking towards like the later year. Like if I turn pro, the later years I'll probably end up
Work
doing a
up to it.
couple.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's sick, bro. You should try to beat my time.
Not. I mean, I think I could, Thomas.
Yeah, you probably could, but
Wait, what'd you run?
a 304. That's my PR.
304.
It's like a
okay,
7
so
flat.
the coach's daughter, right, is like a pro runner for this like really small company. But either way, fast as heck. Her marathon time 2:32.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That is crazy, bro.
She had like a legit chance at making the Olympics.
Dang. Dude,
Yeah,
yeah,
it was insane.
yeah. Fuck. All right, so last question. What's your favorite breakfast?
Lately it's been like so toast, drizzle of honey, avocado slices, cubes, whatever you want, and then an egg on top, salt and pepper. Perfect.
Dang. That sounds good.
It's amazing.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, so that's it. Do you want to just leave the viewers with something to say, like last tip or something?
Just train smart. I see a lot of people up here, especially at altitude, like because it's a lot harder to recover. You just got to train smart. Like you can't, if you're feeling good, some people do this. They feel good, so they go out and kill the workout. and then they get injured a couple days later. It's just like
yeah.
I like to set boundaries for myself. Like, oh, I can only run at fastest 7-minute pace on my easy days. So if I go over
I
that,
see.
I'm just like, no, slow down. I don't care. Like, I could be feeling great, but if I do it
It's not your
consistently,
plan.
I'll get
Like,
injured. Yeah. And
I
I'd
see.
rather stay healthy than get injured.
I
So
feel that.
train smart.
I feel
Train
that. Yeah.
smart. That's
Yeah,
the big
dude.
one.
Injuries suck, bro. Injuries
Oh,
suck.
tell me about
Yeah.
it. Yep. Nah, terrible.
All right, so that's it for today. Make sure to follow the Running Club, Instagram, Strava, all that shit. And that's it. All right. All right. Thanks for coming, Carson.
Yeah, dude. Sounds good. Anytime, Thomas.
All right. Peace.
Later, man.